Alexis Garcia with PJTV here at FreedomFest 2011 in Las Vegas, Nevada. And right now I'm joined by Heritage Foundation's Alison Acosta Fraser. Now Alison, a little bit of a surreal moment this morning. We had dueling press conferences on the debt limit. You know, we see this game of budgetary chicken. Are we any closer to a deal?
Well, we're not closer today, but I think we're getting there. You know, the deadline is supposedly August 2nd. And there's some question about whether that's a real deadline or not, but we know pretty soon that deadline is actually going to come upon us. And I think what you see right now is the Republicans trying to figure out exactly where they are, because they have some diverse opinions in the House, as well as the Senate, and I think the Democrats are kind of trying to figure out where they are. So we're not there yet, but we're going to get there.
You know, we kind of see one of the big misperceptions that I'm sure probably frustrates you. I see it a lot in news reports. It's just because we necessarily don't pass the debt limit doesn't mean we automatically default. Can you explain?
That is such a great question. It's been driving me crazy over these last 6 or 7 months. So what happens when you hit the debt limit? That basically means that the Treasury, the U.S. Treasury Department, can't go out and borrow anymore. They can't issue treasuries and stuff like that. But you and I are still paying our taxes, right? So there's still money flowing into the Treasury. It merely says all they can do is spend what they take in. So that means Treasury is going to have to do some prioritizing. They're going to have to not pay some bills or pay some other bills more slowly, but there should be more than adequate amount of money coming in for them to pay the interest on the debt, to service the debt. And any Treasury Secretary worth their salt is going to make sure that that gets done first and foremost.
Well, you know, when you see President Obama go on national television and say that he's not sure that he can guarantee that Social Security veterans checks goes out.
Right.
I mean, who gets the blame for that? Is that going to be more of a problem for the GOP if that happens, or is he just demagoguing this issue?
Well, he's certainly demagoguing the issue. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you listen to what he says, and he flip-flops and lurches from one position to another, sort of casting about for, you know, a place to land and to be able to get something done. You know, you had this silliness about, you know, I don't care if this takes my presidency down, I'm not moving. Well, we might not have enough money to pay Social Security benefits. So right now, the president's not looking too strong on this. I don't think the Democrats look very strong. And the Republicans are the ones who are trying to get things done, but they got to hang tough. They've got to hang tough and make sure that we come out when all is said and done with a plan that significantly changes where the nation goes forward from there.
Now, the Republicans hanging tough, that seems to be a little bit of a challenge, because it seems like the press wants to play the Boehner-Cantor split, and then you have Senate leader, Minority Leader Mitch McConnell coming out with his own plan.
Right.
What are your thoughts on McConnell's plan to transfer the debt limit power to the president?
Yeah, well, in a word, I don't like it. I think that, you know, what you have is giving the decision essentially to the president over to whether to raise the debt limit or not, and then the spending cuts, if they happen, aren't going to go along with that. I think it's a terrible plan, and I think that Congress needs to do something completely different. And so one of the things that's really interesting, everybody read the Moody's downgrade warning that came out the other day. There's two things to take away from that. One is that that they really have confidence that something is going to happen and that we're not going to default on the debt. You read sort of the fine print, and they're not worried about a real default on the debt. And they even say so in there. But what they do say that is very interesting is that whatever deal is reached has to include significant long-term reductions in the trajectory of debt to GDP. Okay, that won't happen under the McConnell plan, so I don't think it passes the Moody's test.
Do you think, I've seen some other plans floated out there tying this to a balanced budget amendment. Do you think that might come to pass with some of these negotiations?
Yeah, you know, I'm not really a political analyst. I think that certainly what they're talking about is cut, cap, and balance. That there's a couple of pieces of legislation behind that. There's also a couple of balanced budget amendments. I think that what we need at the end of the day is a plan that is going to rein in spending without hiking taxes and have a mechanism for keeping it there. Cut, cap, and balance is the kind of thing that can do that. A BBA is the kind of thing that can do that. Whether or not that's the thing that can get through the House and the Senate and have the president sign it, you know, I don't have those tarot cards in front of me. I think it would be a little bit of a harder reach.
Well, Alison, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks. It was really my pleasure.
And stay tuned for more of our coverage here at FreedomFest. For PJTV, I'm Alexis Garcia.